I think we're right against it.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning on this beautiful football Sunday. We're back. It is the Let's Talk Fantasy Football. The queen of fantasy herself and her husband. My name is Sid. This is Ash. David is hopefully going to show up at some point. Maybe not, though. He had a long night. He texted me really late saying he might not be able to make it, but we're hoping he pops in here soon. We are here for your last-minute fantasy updates, questions you may have, help you with some, hopefully help you win your fantasy week with some last-minute stuff going on. Sean is already in the comments saying Washington. I know Ash is rooting for them today against Philly, so she's going to be a big Carson Wentz fan.
Yeah, I'd like for them to win because I think the Eagles are a much better team than Washington. So if they could fluke lose this one, that'd be great. So then we can get some split.
This is a Carson Wentz revenge game. So
get some split wins in the division so that Philly doesn't just walk all of us. I'm nervous for that.
It's going to be a good time. I'm actually might be starting Carson Wentz in a league, and I'll tell you why later. Commander Carson, don't let me down if I need you. All right, we're going to go ahead and just jump into our show. If anybody's got any questions, please feel free to throw them in the comments, and we will get to those as they come up. We're going to go ahead and start with... And that is the report card from last week. So basically the report card is what we gave out as information from last week. We're going to go ahead and judge ourselves.
People ask us questions and we answer them. This is just to see if we were right in our answers or not. So last week, someone asked us if they should start Stafford or Murray. I know I said Stafford. Pretty sure you said Stafford. And I think David said Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray outscored Stafford. The points I got were a non-PPR, which I didn't realize that until afterwards. So if you're like, that's not how many they scored, it's because you're in a PPR league and these are non-PPR points. So Stafford had 20.9 and Murray had 26.9. So Murray did win that one. That scramble at the end there that Kyler Murray had just set him over the top. So, which was really exciting to watch. Someone else also asked Najee Harris, Chase Edmonds, or Robinson. James Robinson. Is there another one?
I'm sure there's a few other ones, actually.
Well, you know who I'm talking about. We're talking about running backs right now. And we said Najee for sure. I think we all were like, you're not going to bench Najee because that's like a first-round pick, blah, 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 blah.
David was hesitant on Najee, but
stuff. Yeah. I think we were all kind of hesitant on it, but we're like, I'm not going to give up hope yet. So the real conversation was between Edmonds and Robinson, and I definitely went Edmonds because
David
have been on Edmonds, and I am slowly getting off that because Miami doesn't need running backs when you have that many stud wide receivers on your team. So Robinson scored 13.8, so he definitely took the win on that one. Najee had 8.9, Edmonds had 4.1. So once again, Cindy was right about James Robinson. I was just talking about how I'm now on the James Robinson train. Sign me up. Give me my ticket. Choo-choo. Let's ride. Like, I'm done being a hater. Anyway. Someone else asked Kenyon Drake, Ingram, and we kind of were like, do you have anybody else? And they said they also had Burkhead, Gainwell, and Ramondre Stevenson. None of them did great. None of them scored over 5 points, but that's kind of the trend we've been seeing with running backs anyway. Ramondre Stevenson won that with 5 points. So Ingram had 4.1, which I think is who I ended up saying I would have gone with just because Kamara was out. But Gainwell did not win. So, haha, Andrew, Gainwell stinks. Sean asked if he should play Tua or Lamar, which I remember saying that I would start Lamar, but that the points were going to be so close that I don't think you lose either way. I think they were going to be like right on path to have the same amount of points. And for non-PPR, Tua had 40.9 and Lamar had 42.6. So very close. It was a win no matter who you picked. Tua absolutely went off, and in a league where I played David and lost by 0.8 points, Tua was on my bench and Trey Lance was in, so that was super depressing. So Lamar won that one. The last Zach muted the whole time.
No, it was messed up. It said it unplugged, but I think it should be good now. Sorry, that's what I was trying to fix it. You're good.
Anyway, I was talking how far.
Just talk about Swift again.
Okay,
I think
Swift. Someone asked if you should trust Swift, and I said absolutely, because Swift is a beast. That dude right now is top 4 scorer when it comes to running backs.
I think he's third.
Is he third? He was fourth last week, third overall. He scored 14 points. He's a stud.
Yeah, he's third. The third overall running back.
Yeah. Shout out to Alex because he's been trying to push Swift all season.
I had Swift last year, and if you have Swift, it is a questionable train you're going to ride all year long. He was questionable every single week last week. Last year, he played every single week last year. So even it says questionable, don't worry about Swift. For some reason, I think he likes to miss practice.
That's what I said. He doesn't want to practice. He's like, I'm too good for practice. I go out there and ball out. What do I need to practice for?
He'll be questionable all year, but he'll play all year.
Yep. And then the conversation was, should I play Nyheim Hines, Hollywood Brown, or Travis Etienne? I definitely just went wide receiver because if I don't know, I always just go wide receiver. And I was right. Hollywood, not by much. Hollywood scored 6.8, Etienne scored 5.3, and Hines scored 3.7. So if you played Etienne, it wasn't a terrible decision between those three, but so we did okay.
Yeah, Nyheim Hines had 3 targets on the Colts' very first drive, and then they didn't target him again for the rest of the game. So it was he started off with exactly what we thought was going to happen. He was going to play receiver, basically, and then they didn't throw him the ball anymore. I have no idea what happened there or why that happened, but yeah. The Colts are a hot mess.
It's the Colts, and no one knows what they're doing.
So that was the report card from last week. Those were the questions we had, different things we threw out there. And we're going to go straight into our I think overall we did pretty good, though.
We
didn't.
No, and if we picked somebody, it was very close to the other option. We didn't totally miss, I don't think, on anything.
Take the worst option when there's a way better option.
Yeah, no.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the next part of the show, which is Desperate Times Call for Desperate Players. This segment is basically, if you haven't seen it before, is just those last minute players. You realize you woke up today, haven't checked your lineup all week, and you're like, half my team's out because they're hurt or they're sick or something's going on, and I need to figure out who to play, and nobody's available. So these are basically some desperate plays from players that should be available in your league, that if you need them because somebody got last minute hurt or sick, they should be able to hopefully fill in and give you a fighting chance in your fantasy leagues. I know I'm trying to think of some of the ones we threw out last week. I did Austin Doolin. Austin Doolin, the receiver for the Colts, is what I said. A lot of people had
Campbell.
Paris Campbell, and I gave Austin Doolin. Austin Doolin outscored Paris Campbell. He almost had 10 points in a PPR. So if that was a desperate play you made, 10 points is a lot better.
Campbell.
Yeah, it's a lot better than not. I also think I can't remember. I didn't bring my notes from that one.
I have no idea.
But
Isaiah McKenzie.
Oh, I gave Isaiah McKenzie again
Gabe Davis was out.
Yeah, or Jamison Crowder, and I don't think either of them did very much, but it was important if you did have them because going into Monday night, Gabe Davis did end up being out. So if you didn't have another receiver, hopefully you had one of them and you were able to plug them in and at least get some points because Ash losing by 0.8 points knows that could be the difference between a dub and an L.
Pain.
You know what's pain? Being the third highest scoring team week 1, and then the second highest scoring team week 2, and being 0-2 in fantasy. I played the number 1 scoring team both weeks in one of my leagues, so that's great.
The only positive of that is like moving forward, you should win.
Yeah, you would think, unless I keep playing the highest scoring team.
Well, you already played teams that apparently score high, so hopefully you got those teams out of the way, and now you're gonna play all the toilet bowl teams.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of. I don't think
if you played Kenyon Drake because Dobbins was out, that was a huge mistake. I did not.
Apparently, there were just no running backs in that game. The Miami or Baltimore backfield. I mean, Lamar Jackson was the only running back in that game.
Shocking. That was a good game, though. That was a really good game.
I think I gave Sammy Watkins. He had a really big catch, but that was kind of it.
He's on IR.
And now he's on IR, so I'm just trying to think of
Sammy Watkins did Sammy Watkins things.
So this week for the Desperate Times Call for Desperate Players, I have a few. Hopefully you can use them if needed. I got Greg Dortch. He's still available in one of my leagues. He's had back-to-back 13-plus points for the Cardinals. With Hollywood Brown being the number 1 target, Jalen Ramsey should be on him. He doesn't follow people much, but he'll be the main focus of the defense. And then Rondell Moore still being hurt. Greg Dortch has stepped up, and he's actually had back-to-back good games for the Cardinals. Still not really talked about. So if he's available, he's definitely a viable option at receiver.
And James Conner is questionable, so I don't know if he's kind of hurt, banged up. So
he is.
They'll rely more on the.
I have that later on.
Oh, sorry. I just meant because Dortch would be a good, because if they don't run it as much.
Yeah, and they play the Rams, who should be putting up points against that defense, which means the Cardinals need to throw the ball, which means Dortch should be able to get some points there. So I like him. And then switching straight to the running backs there, like you said, James Conner is banged up. He's questionable as of right now. Darrell Williams or Eno Benjamin are both big starts or chances to start this week or have valuable fantasy options. A lot of people were trying to get them in the waiver wire. So they might not be available, but I just looked in a couple of my leagues and they're still available. Darrell Williams was available. So he's produced before in the past in his career when he's gotten the opportunity to be the starter. So I like him as a flyer or somebody if you need to start a running back because running backs are few and far between right now. If you have like a Josh Jacobs who might not play because he's sick or James Conner or number of other factors. If you drafted Travis Etienne and Breece Hall thinking they were going to be the guys and they're just not. I like him this week for sure. Benjamin with a chance as well. He's a good receiving back and gets a few targets a game, which, hey, like I said, could be the difference between a win and a loss. The receivers I have written down, it's very hard for receiver right now. It's kind of deep, so there's not a lot of available receivers. But for desperate times, I'm thinking to lean and go look at Tom Brady's favorite type of receiver, that little white slot guy. There's 2 of them there. Scotty Miller with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans not playing this game. Julio Jones still questionable. I like Scotty Miller to have a good game, and I also like Cole Beasley to come in and surprise some people. He was elevated off the practice squad to the active roster. So he's going to be playing today. He's a veteran receiver. Tom Brady usually can connect well with those. If you remember, okay, before I say this, I am not comparing Cole Beasley to this receiver, but if you remember when AB was there for a week, literally a week, hadn't played like practice at all. AB came in, got 6 passes for like 75 yards and a touchdown. It's just that veteran mentality, knows how to play football. Cole Beasley's been in the league a long time. Tom Brady's going to be able to trust him.
Cole Beasley will have a game where he absolutely balls out, and it's like, wow, look at him, and then he does absolutely nothing. So this is a perfect opportunity for him to come and ball out. Josh Jacobs, just really quick, is going to play.
Is he active?
Yes.
So maybe if you don't really trust it because he was a last-minute decision, you can lean one of the other ways. But I've also not been a big fan of Josh Jacobs. I just don't think he's in a very good offense that supports the running back. That's just kind of my personal opinion. But yeah, I like Cole Beasley or Scotty Miller. They should be available in most leagues. If you do need a receiver like right now to go get up and start, I kind of like both of them, their chances. The thing is they don't have anybody else, and they should be. Tom Brady's going to throw the ball, I imagine. So we'll see there, though. Sean says he's got Mitch starting. Should I pick up Kenny Pickett? Not just yet. Tomlin's came out and said that we're not going to make any quarterback changes anytime soon. Or any sudden quarterback changes. So it doesn't look like Kenny's going to start anytime soon. Now, if we roll off another couple losses here and we're like 1-5, that might be the time to go get him because I don't think Tomlin's going to sit back and just let that happen. Just take the L's because it's Mitch's fault or anything like that. Let me see.
Problem is, it's not just Mitch, but that's a different conversation, I guess.
Yeah, it's also the offensive coordinator, but Mitch is definitely a problem. I was definitely wrong about that. I thought he was going to be able to come in and at least do enough. The problem is Mitch Trubisky can throw a nice ball. The problem is he finds his receiver and he just looks at them. He's a terrible decision-making person. He has a great arm.
Until he decides, okay, this play, I'm throwing it to Chase Claypool, and then snaps the ball and immediately looks at Chase Claypool, follows him, throws him the ball. And it's like, dude. Meanwhile, I got Deontay wide open over here.
It happens multiple times a game.
He throws nice ball. Like, his passing ability is good. It is 100%. Like you said, the decision making
is no buenos.
It's not good.
But I wouldn't start either of them. There's other options out there that are good until I think Kenny Pickett will actually be viable when he gets in there. His decision making is good. He runs, which is everybody knows a running quarterback in fantasy is always good. Doesn't matter how good they are at passing the ball. If they run, they're going to be really good. Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson are top tier fantasy guys because of their legs. Same with Josh Allen even. Their arms help. Like obviously they're going to throw the ball and get good yardage, but what puts them over the top is the ability to run the ball because that's so many more points.
I don't think Justin Herbert's going to play. So if you have Justin Herbert, I would try to find somebody else. I know Chase Daniels took all their
first team reps.
Yep, on Friday, and
that might be another one that you might want to like look elsewhere if you have, say, like Mike Williams or Josh Palmer or somebody like that, like one of the receivers for the Chargers, because they're not gonna be as good with Chase Daniels as they were with Justin Herbert. So like one of the guys like Scotty Miller or anything like that. Now, I mean, you might not want to start them over Mike Williams, just ride your guy and hope he does good, but it's just something to think about and look at because it's definitely a fall off from Herbert to Chase Daniels.
Yeah. He really wants to play. Justin Herbert does, but I don't know that the team is going to risk throwing him out there so soon after that injury is what it seems like. But I don't know. Sometimes they just throw them in there and it's like, no. Maybe you should just like wait a week.
It's always unfortunate when guys like that are the second round of games though too, because like you have to make some decisions because some of your guys are going to play in the first. Like I have Justin Herbert in the league, and the quarterback I have as a backup, Sean, is Carson Wentz. And I like Carson Wentz. Revenge game against Philly. He throws it a ton and he's got great receivers. You don't got to look pretty to be a good fantasy quarterback, and he's been a really solid fantasy guy so far this season, but nobody likes him because it's Carson Wentz and Washington. No offense, Sean, but that's how the world views it.
But that's how people with any
But Washington
Brain
plays in the
stinks.
morning games, so I have to decide before I will even know if I want to start Wentz or ride with and hope Herbert plays. So I'm probably going to go the safe route, just take the points with Wentz, and if Herbert plays, that's unfortunate.
You'll just cry. So I have Herbert in a league, and my other quarterback is Justin Fields, who also plays in the morning, and also just I don't ever want to start him. The only reason I have him is a Dynasty League, so I was like, young guy, gotta get him. Terrible. The Bears are. So Kyle will like this. I picked up Mariota because he plays in the afternoon games and is one of the only quarterbacks available that plays in an afternoon game. Because I'm not putting Danny Dimes out there. I can't do it. So let's go, Mariota.
You don't want to start Daniel Jones against your Cowboys?
Absolutely not. Even if Micah's out, because Micah might be out due to illness, I still do not want to do that. But that's just me. Also, Jacoby Myers is out. I don't know anyone who has him, but the Ravens play them.
Nelson Aguilar a little.
Think the Ravens are going to have a night or a morning, whenever they play. J.K. Dobbins is back.
For sure.
Yes. Marlon Humphrey is back. Marcus Peters is back. So they got their whole squad back ready to roll against the not very good Patriots team. So that's that. I don't know that I'm going to play Dobbins this week. I might wait and see how it goes. I don't know. Do you have Dobbins? Are you going to play him?
I have J.K. Dobbins, and I might have to play him just because the rest of I also have Kamara in that league.
Yeah, he's questionable. Let's go Wentz. Why are we cheering for Wentz, Nicole? She's a Saints fan. Let's not go Wentz. Actually, let's go Wentz for this game because I would like him to beat the Eagles. And that would just be like a fun revenge game. Oh, she has him in fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's silly.
He's a good fantasy player.
Was he, though? Is Jerry Jeudy going to play? Does anyone know? Jerry Jeudy. You also know who's been the biggest bust of fantasy outside of Cam Akers. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent because you're switching your lineup. Mooney. Absolute trash garbage. Can't stand that guy. Not happy because my wide receivers in the league aren't very good, and he is one guy that I was hoping I could count on, and I absolutely cannot because that team stinks, and he stinks. And that's me being very nice.
Tell me how you really feel.
Who else is like a big bum
Herbert in this league
that I thought wasn't going to be a bum? Him and Cam Akers really are probably my most disappointing picks this year. You know what's really disappointing, though? I'm just going to keep talking.
Go for it.
Najee had, how many points? 15?
13
And then they decided to run that stupid play on Thursday night. They threw it backwards, so it counts as a fumble against Najee. So he loses points.
That's true.
It was the best game Najee's had all season. And then they do that. And it was just unnecessary. Just take a knee and walk it off. And be like, you know what? Take your L and go home and think about it. Do not give it to Najee and make him throw it backwards so he loses yards and gets a fumble. So mad. We keep getting Cindy's changing his lineup, and I keep getting the notification that you are moving things around.
Gotta figure stuff out, It's hard out here.
Real lifetime. Who are you switching out?
In my other league, I have Herbert. I just picked up Carson Wentz because he's still available. Like I said, if you need a quarterback, he's definitely viable. And then I was looking at J.K. Dobbins to see if I should put him in, but I don't think I'm going to.
I don't think I'm going to play Dobbins in the league I have him in. The league I have Dobbins in, I'm a loser. So maybe I should play him because what I'm doing is not working. I have Najee and Mixon, though, and then I have A.J. Dillon in my flex. Maybe I should take A.J. Dillon out.
For?
Dobbins.
I like that. The Bucks run defense is very good. So
I know, that's kind of what I was like, what is the matchup? I'm playing Houston's defense. That's how desperate I was for a defense. Yeesh. That's how much I hate the Bears.
the Bears offense is very good.
Bears have to be, I said at the beginning, they're going to be one of the worst teams. They're looking like it.
All right, we are going to go ahead and move on from Desperate Times as players. I guess we've kind of been answering fantasy questions as we go. If anybody has some, please feel free to drop it in, but we're going to go ahead and show this because it's really cool. Do the underdogs ever win in fantasy or in real life football? Because in real life football, they definitely win.
Look at the Giants, 2-0. They're not the underdogs this week, though, so let's go.
I saw one. It was a picture. Fantasy? Oh, Oh, absolutely. Nicole, I am in a league. So listen, I'm going to give you a story. I'm in a... So
all about how.
The North Sports Dynasty started a Dynasty League. This is their 4th season or 3rd season, one of the two. So they've been doing it for 3 or 4 years. One of their people that had a team dropped out or doesn't want to do it anymore. Something happened and he got kicked from the league. So Andrew hit me up earlier this year and asked if I wanted to take over that team. So I did. So I took over a team that was already created. Somebody already had drafted players. Dynasty is if you're not if for people that don't know, Dynasty, you draft a team and that's your team forever. All you do is redraft rookies every year. And then you can trade, you have draft picks to trade, stuff like that. So you're kind of creating your team. So my team is very bad. I'll tell you exactly my starting lineup in that team right now. Because what I did, I had one or two good players. I didn't have a lot. I had Devontae Adams, and that was kind of it. So I basically did a wholesale. I sold my really good players. I traded them for draft picks for the next couple drafts so I can basically rebuild my team. But my starting lineup is Justin Fields. It was Eno Benjamin, James Robinson, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Noah Brown, Pat Freiermuth. I have Jahan Dotson. It's a 2-quarterback league. So my second quarterback is Jacoby Brissett. It's a very bad team, but I won week 1. So my team is always projected to lose. So underdogs can definitely win.
Last year or 2 years ago, I was in a league and I was steady, 8 out of, I think it was a 12-team league or 10-team league. I was on the bottom and I ended up getting second because when playoffs came around, they lit 8 teams in the playoffs. It was something ridiculous. And I'm like, well, you guys messed up here. And then I ended up getting second. So
same thing with Sean.
And same thing with Delilah last year in our Let's Talk Football League was undefeated, lost first round of the playoffs. So, it's real football. You just never know. This is hilarious.
Yeah. So we got a question. Who do I start? Stafford or Murray? Stafford has the weapons, but risks interception. Murray can run the ball. But the modern warfare beta just came out. So it is proven that if a new release or double XP weekend happens, Kyler Murray's QBR and stats drop by 15%. They do play each other, which is interesting. So I think you got to go into that matchup thinking that as well. That I can't remember.
It's in Arizona. Because I saw someone selling tickets earlier.
Perfect.
We're in Arizona.
This is tough because we had this exact question last week.
I think it's gonna be a good game. Dang, we should have bought those tickets.
Expensive. Yeah, they're a division game. They probably are. I like Stafford personally. A couple reasons is Murray's weapons aren't nearly as good. I like the Rams defense more than the Cardinals defense, meaning Murray's gonna have a tougher time. Murray's legs are what make this hard. Because you're definitely correct. His running ability makes it hard, but the Modern Warfare beta is hilarious, and it is. It truly is a factor.
It really is. Yeah, someone looked it up. The stats don't lie.
So I'd probably go Stafford. I think the floor is higher, so you're guaranteed a little bit more points or should be promised a little bit more points. Versus Kyler. Kyler could go out and score 10 points like it's nothing, and like that, nobody would be shocked. Whereas I think you're guaranteed at least 15 to 18 points with Stafford because of he's going to throw a couple touchdowns.
We had this question last week too, and Kyler Murray ended up getting more points, but the majority, a lot of his points came at the end there where he was scrambling and he scored a rushing touchdown,
2-point conversion,
and so a lot of those points didn't even come to like the very, very end when they were fighting for their lives to at least make it to overtime. So right. I would go Stafford, just because too that the Rams defense is solid, and I think it's going to be a harder time for Kyler to run around today.
Yep.
But I was wrong last week when I picked Kyler, or when I picked Stafford over Kyler. So, but video games and good defense, I'll take Stafford. Stafford really made me mad week 1, but he did better week 2. Let me see. Do I have any questions?
You got any last-minute questions for your lineups?
Man, speaking of Dynasty Leagues, don't like them. It's not my favorite. It's just your roster is so thin, and you draft. David had said this too. I wish we would have drafted. I would have just like stuck to what I normally do for my draft, and then just probably would have hated myself years down. But I wouldn't have hated myself right now. So, and even looking at my team now, I'm like, I don't even feel like in a few years that these people are going to get that much better. So I feel like I just screwed myself. Gabe Davis is going to play.
Gabe Davis is in.
Yeah. He was expected to play, but he's actually going to play now. Russell Wilson, I do not like. I do not have another quarterback. Okay. You know who else I'm struggling with this year is defenses. I can never. Oh, no. Who do the Colts play? Oh, no. I need a new defense. This is why you have to check your lineups.
This is why you don't be in 9 leagues.
Also, I am the worst at the waiver wire. I wake up on, Wednesday morning, and I see 500 notifications that everyone's roster has changed and moves have been made, and I'm like, I missed it again. So you need to start reminding me. You think the Bengals defense against the Jets? Zach Wilson's not back yet. That's what I'm gonna
Joe Flacco is literally second in the league in passing yards.
So not the Bengals. Well, who you think? The Eagles?
Yeah. As I start Carson Wentz in 2 leagues.
Okay, so no. Okay, these are my options.
Well, it's
guys.
funny. Flacco's
these are my
second.
Options.
Carson Wentz is third in passing yards.
The Bears, which I'd rather die. The Bengals, the Giants, the Eagles, the Vikings, the Texans.
Who do the Texans play?
The Bears. I'm playing them in a different league.
Yeah, I play the Texans.
That just feels wrong.
Dirty?
I'm dropping the Colts. Absolutely trash. What is happening to the Colts? That's my question. Does anybody know? Who else? TJ Hawkins is questionable. Oh, I don't even have a defense in this league. Chargers defense or Cowboys defense?
Cowboys.
With Micah maybe out too.
Cowboys. Treylon Burks or Paris Campbell?
Oh, I don't like Campbell after last week, but I don't know that I love Treylon Burks either.
I like Treylon Burks more, personally.
Well, what's happening with them too? They're terrible.
Yeah, they're very bad. It's almost like Derrick Henry's fallen off.
It's week 2. I would take
3 now.
Well, I would take Burks probably, only because
Paris Campbell had a chance to be the man last week and wasn't.
Yeah.
And now Michael Pittman Jr. is back, so he's going to be bumped down to that second role. And Treylon Burks is like the 1A with Robert Woods, and I like his upside a lot more than Paris Campbell's currently. That could change down the road, but I like Burks' ceiling more than Campbell's.
You know who else might play? Michael Gallup. I would not start him, but he out here doing things. exciting times.
What if Cooper Rush goes 2-0 and Dak goes 0-1?
Well, according to Jerry
quarterback
Jones, there's a quarterback competition. But if you ask Mike McCarthy, he said there's not a quarterback competition. And if you ask Zeke, he said Jerry Jones just likes to say shit to get y'all talking then laughed at them. It works. That's Jerry Jones. ML is how can I get people to speak about me? Ooh, I'm in a league and I'm playing Tua and they're banking on Justin Herbert. Mods.
Count it as a dub. Just kidding.
Let me see. I'm 1-1 in one league, 2-0 in another league, 0-2. Yeesh.
You're all consistent.
I play you, and I'm 2-0.
So am I.
And then I'm 0-2 in another league, and then I'm 2-0.
One of us will be 3-0 after this week.
Why does this one say
will
2-2? That's weird.
Because David's league is weird.
This league is. Oh, this is a league. Every 2-0 team is playing another 2-0 team, and every 0-2 team is playing another 0-2 team. But no one's 1-1.
Correct.
What are the odds?
I don't know. It's pretty awesome. Andrew, what are the odds?
You're the. Oh, speaking of Andrew, Hunter Renfrow is out. He's a big Hunter.
So Matt Collins is another name to think of to fill in for the Hunter Renfrow role. He's another receiver there.
Go bet Devontae Adams over.
That's what I said last week, and that was wrong. Speaking of bets, we have a segment brought to you by... This is the bets segment. Since Ash decided to bring up some bets, we like to give our bets of the week. Ash's bet that she gave last week won. My bet did not. So follow her. Fade me.
Yeah, my any 4 to score a touchdown. Oh my goodness. And it was 5 players. So 4 out of the 5. I can't even remember who it all was. But it hit. It was beautiful. I could probably look at it, actually. My other bets, not so much. Not so much. Was not a good time. Where did I win? I got to keep scrolling, because I make lots of bets.
Yeah, that's a Winston. I don't trust Winston. I like Kamara. I'm starting him in my league mainly because I'm desperate. I don't really have any good backups. And again, Kamara is one of those first or second round picks that I'm not giving up on too early. I am riding with Kamara for now, but yeah, I would watch out for Winston for sure.
Okay. So last week I did Swift, Gibson, Najee, Tyreek Hill, and DJ Moore.
To score 4 of the 5 to score touchdown.
And I won monies. I didn't do very good elsewhere. I had some bet on the Eagles that ended up winning, so at least. Oh, there's so many. I keep getting notifications of this person's healthy, this person's healthy, this person's out. That's my bets for this week because I already have them up now. Oh my goodness, thank you for all the. Is Kenyon Drake out? Is that what that said?
I haven't gotten that one yet. I don't have Kenyon Drake. I don't think in any leagues, so it's not going to tell me.
He stinks. If you have him, you should just drop him. All right, this week for my any 4, I have 2 any 4 bets. This one I don't necessarily love as much as my other one because I had any 4 with the Devontae Smith in there before and it ended up losing because that guy stinks. But I have Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Mark Andrews, Jalen Waddle, and Devontae Smith, any of the 4 out of 5 to score, and that was plus 490, so I liked it. My other one is Diggs, Amon-Ra, who is my favorite wide receiver in the league. Gabe Davis, Brandon Cooks, and Curtis Samuel. Any of the 4. When I made the bet, I didn't love it because I didn't know if Gabe Davis was going to play, but now I like it a lot more that I know he's good to go. So I have that one, and then I bet Andrew's little bet he had going on. He had Kansas City minus 5.5, Lions plus 6, and the over for the Houston Bears game. So I parlayed those together. I'm trying to ride Andrew's bet. Let's ride.
Speaking of Andrew, shout out to North Sports Dynasty. Everybody go check him out. Give him a like, a share, a follow. I can't do the whole rhyming thing that he did because that was really cool when he did it.
He rhymed.
Yeah, it was sick. It was like a like, a shot, a follow, and a share because I am your host, Mr. Andrew Faubert, or something like that. He did it really way better than that. But anyway, go give him a follow over there at North Sports Dynasty. He does a lot of really cool stuff. He gives bets. He does Dynasty, fantasy news, all that fun stuff. But then my bet, I'm only giving one this week. I'm trying to get on the winning side of this thing. I did a 3-team moneyline parlay. The Ravens to beat the Patriots, the Chiefs to beat the Colts, and the Bengals to beat the Jets. Just straight up, no points, anything like that. Parlayed them together. It's plus 220. Nice little easy bet. Hopefully they win. Taysom Hill is out if you were going to start him as your tight end anywhere. And then that is the bet I have. What is Bobby saying here?
Am I leaving Dobbins on my bench again today? Zeke,
Henderson,
and
J-Rob.
I would.
Yeah, I'd probably roll with who you got. I like Zeke, Henderson, and James Robinson more, at least this week, just see what J.K. Dobbins is. I don't think he's worth the gamble. I don't think you have a running back that you need to get out of your starting lineup to force him in there.
Yes.
So if you were desperate and needed somebody because you just didn't have, say you had Etienne and Breece Hall or something like that, and you needed to get one out.
Not very good. If you had caretakers,
Zeke, Henderson, and J-Rob are going to get the touches already, so you kind of know where they're going to be. J.K. is currently a complete unknown, so I would ride with who you got right now. And that's it for my bets. Got anything else for the peoples?
I don't think so. It's weird because the Steelers don't play and the Cowboys don't play, so it's a less stressful Sunday of watching football.
Much less. Very true.
I'll be stressed tomorrow when we lose to the Giants because Micah has the flu.
Yep.
And they go 3-0. Okay, I'm done.
She just got herself mad. You see that? That just happened live and in color. But that is going to be it for us, guys. If you have any fantasy questions, feel free to drop them on the page or leave them in the comments or anything like that. We'll definitely try and get to them if we can before the games start. Other than that, right after this, we have the Let's Talk Football Sunday Game Day Preview show coming up in about 15 minutes with Sean, the Walsh boys. I think Nathan's on it. I can't remember all the hosts.
Nick, maybe?
Nick Rosario, all them lovely people that have guests on and stuff like that. They're going to give you all the game previews right before game time. They go on, in about 16 minutes exactly. So go ahead and check them out. But that's it for us, guys. We are headed out of here. We just got a new car, so I want to go drive it to the store just to drive it to the store.
Go us.
And that's it. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for stopping in. We love y'all.